information about the rivalry with the French. There's a scene in Yes Minister or Yes Prime Minister, where Sir Humphrey says, well, to the Prime Minister, we have to be always careful about our principal enemy. And the Prime Minister says, oh, you mean Russia? He said, no, it's the French. The French are our principal enemy. So there's still a degree of that apparently in London.
I can only imagine. It did go on for centuries, there's no doubt about it. So what actually happens, and I get back to this point about La Bruce, because it's very important. So what actually happens with Harris, he brings on a campaign, and he's given £7,000 or $13 million from Prime Minister Pitt out of Treasury money to go and cause a campaign to disrupt the French. Now, without getting into all the details of it, he is successful within 5 months, and the French have to declare on October 27, 1787, October 27th, that they will show no concern or see no value in any British or Dutch interests, and that meant Asia. And this was the statement that the British East India Company wanted. But it was said to be to show French impotence and terribly embarrassing for France to have to back down. What this meant was it's 6 months or something, whatever it is, October, November, 4 months or so, before La Perouse arrived. Now, if he had arrived before Philip and placed his flag in the sand, it would have been null and void. It was of no value because the king had declared that they would take no interest in anything in the Asian Pacific region. So this has never come out before. And in fact, because of that arrangement in Europe, even the colony in Sydney, as it was being established, Britain didn't need it.
Yes, but occupation was always the important aspect in relation to taking over, and the British stressed that in relation to the Falkland Islands. They didn't discover, I don't think they discovered the Falkland Islands, but they certainly occupied them for a considerable period, and they had a good title to the Falkland Islands at the time of the war with Argentina. Moving on, there's a wonderful statement from my point of view in your book, and I will quote you, I'm afraid, on this. You say, towards the end, Australia becoming a republic has little chance of eventuating, which coincides with my view. Why do you say that?
Because the system that we have a prime minister, and that position is unconstitutional. There's no mention of a prime minister in the Constitution. Neither are there a mention of parties, which also are unconstitutional. It's the opportunities there, but it's not mentioned. And it's the same situation with premiers of the states. So we have a system of a mirror image of the British system that's not, if you read the Constitution as a statutory document, mirrored in the statutes. So in actual fact, if we move to a proper republican system whereby a president, the leader of the government or the executive office, was publicly elected, there is a problem in as much as the power that the parties and the prime minister yield would have to be given up. They would be reduced to what? The Speaker of the House, as in the American system. If we have a look at where the leaders of the Democrats and the Republicans reside, then the most important position in the House is the Speaker. So you see, I come to a point of actually saying and thinking about this: would our party system and our leaders ever really be willing